Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to College Rifles Rugby Club here, set in just south of the Auckland Metro Centre in the suburb of Remuera. Welcome along this evening for this matchup, the Club Clash. It is game number 2 between the College Rifles teams, under 13 that is, between the Colts and the Raiders. I'm Jason Gerbies, aka Chopper, and joining me in the booth today is the Junior Development Officer, Logan Strange. Mate, great to be here today.
Good to see you, Jace. How's it going? Exciting times. A beautiful night here in the heart of Remuera. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on for sure indeed. Let's have a look at the lineups for you. The blue team, that will be their team going from left to right in the outfield, in the field there for you. And as you'll see the lineup for you, they've got Foley, Davis, Hunt, Weber, Salazar, Devi, Popwell, McKinnon, Jorgensen, McKenzie, Gibson, McConnor, Warren, Devereaux, Rose, and Rose will round out at the fullback spot. And we are ready to go as the match referee, there's Mark Donaldson, about to get us underway here as we're about to start. We look at the starting lineup for the white team as we're about to kick off here. You'll see these Paris, Hawkins, Washington, Chiddington, Toner Reeves, McKay, Hamilton, Mueller. As this kickoff goes and just gets over the 10 line, diving down on top of it. Of course, the blue team going left to right. That is the Raiders who have the first position to get it out to the back now. We'll finish that lineup for you in a second here. Ball goes to the ground just on the 10 here. Raiders in possession. Fed out the back to number 13, of course, that is Jacob Hawksby. And he feeds it out wide, getting it to the tram line now. Number 8 here, this is the engine room for the Raiders, of course. And just get the right numbers here. Blue side on the right here, Chopper. There we go, 13, he shovels it out. Moving the ball wide quickly here, the Raiders. This one comes off the hand, maybe just a little knock on.
Eli McConnell, the number 12 in the centre there. Fabulous young player. Plays touch in the summer. You may have seen him around the traps, But, great little start for the Raiders here. They've still got the ball and pressing into the Colts half.
Well, it's about possession, isn't it? And the Raiders have had all of the possession thus far in the match. This one comes skewing just as we say it. But we'll go back for the first infringement. And back over there, Mark Donaldson finds the mark 12 metres inside the half of the Colts team. Colts in white, remember. They are running right to left on the screen for you. And the Raiders in blue.
Just looking around here, Jace, and there is a massive crowd here at College Rifles tonight for the Club Clash Game 2. I myself here sitting up in the commentary box with you, just having a little piece of cheesy pizza up here, mate. Thanks to Domino's. Your shout out to Domino's. Love a little bit of cheesy garlic pizza. You want some?
You can't beat a little bit of pizza. Look at me, Logan. There is nothing that I don't eat when it comes to food. But if you want a pizza, you can't go past Domino's, that's for sure. Well, the line out will be taken over here, kicking with a penalty, of course, so that means that the Raiders will get the throw in. Tap goes back, ball is loose, diving onto it as the loose forward. Now you see the Raiders, good formation by the forward pack. Ball shoveled out now, out to 12. That's McConnell, of course, and he kicks it on.
McConnell puts the ball in again.
And diving over the line, good chasing by Tom Warren, and he'll dot down first as the Raiders strike first.
Great try there, Jace. Eli McConnell put the little grubber through from about 22 out, and the Colts were just caught napping. Up too flat. And the little first 5 there from the Raiders just spotted the gap in between and took it. First up lead for the Raiders.
Well, he sure did with only 2.5 minutes gone on the clock. So the Raiders have really struck off nice and early here. Good possession so far. And you've got to be happy with that watching the junior footy here, Logan, played at such good high level of skill.
Yeah, it's really good to see these young rugby players coming through the grades. It's their last season of junior rugby before they head off to high school next season. So, be good to see them continue playing the lovely game of rugby and maybe even see them back at College Rifles when they're seniors one day.
Well, as you see there, we will love to see them play topside when they are finished with high school, of course. But Jack Rose, the fullback, slots that one over the dot. And that'll be a 7-0 lead now between the Raiders over the top of the Colts. The Colts will get this chance to re-cook off here with 4.5 minutes gone on the shot clock. This one's starting nice and quick. Restart from 14. That's Cooper Peters from the white team. And you see that forward pack from the Raiders. They have been good from the get-go and recycling the ball back as you see the backs get the ball. Now here comes the try scorer again, Warren, and he's getting on the outside, comes back in, and he'll be taken to the ground there. Plenty of white shirts there, though.
Yeah, you can just see the Raiders drifting from side to side here. They're trying to catch out the Colts wingers who are tending to push in on this full field rugby. And you can see number 8 there, Jacob McKinnon again putting in the hard yards, getting it over the 22. The Raiders are just 15 metres out now. What a start for this Raiders team.
Well, they've kicked it out wide to the winger. He'll put it to the loose forward. Look at him charging around the outside edge there. That's Emon Devi, and he goes to ground. There's that forward pack from the Raiders again. The white team desperately seeking to try and get the pill here because it's been the Raiders all the way through so far.
Dominant. They've been dominant so far, Jace. This Raiders team, obviously the first game in the Club Clash this year, the Colts took it out. They got out to an early lead, actually.
Well, quick tap.
Eli McConnell takes the quick tap again.
Oh, and he's going for the post. He's got 2 men on, though, and he'll go down the number 12. Forward pack again from the Raiders at the end. Just as you were saying there, the Colts struck first in game 1, winning that one 45 points to 40 in a close affair. Well, it's the Raiders that are trying to seek revenge here in game 2. Going wide now, and he'll shovel it out wide, and he'll get it, dotting it down.
Amon Devi strikes second try for the Raiders, and the Colts are looking a little bit shell-shocked here, Jace. They've come into this game knowing they're 1-0 up in the Club Clash, and the Raiders have come straight out of the blocks, and they're up 12-0.
Well, I tell you what, you never look sideways when you see a Kiwi who's down, because that's the Raiders after game 1, losing that first one to the Colts. But boy, oh boy, have they come out with all vengeance, gun flying here. 2 tries, and now this one only 6 minutes into the match. I think we've got ourselves a good one tonight here, Logan.
Just want to give a quick shout out to the main sponsor of junior rugby this year at College Rifles, Ellerslie, Barfoot and Thompson. I've just been looking at buying a few houses here in Remuera, and I went down to Ellerslie, Barfoot and Thompson the other day, and mate, they gave me such a good feeling inside. You know?
Well, we all know in real estate that it's a very, very important purchase in your life, as we see young Jack Rose lining up the conversion again here. This one just a little bit short this time, so the score will stay 12 points to 0.
Yep.
But when you are making that in purchase, and it's arguably the biggest purchase you'll make in your life, you need good advice. And a real good real estate agent can make the world of difference, let alone a huge number as far as cost is concerned.
So big shout out to massive support this year from Ellerslie, Barfoot and Thompson. So thanks to the team down there. 12-0.
Well, there you go. Fantastic. We've got a good start here, ladies and gentlemen, and it is the Raiders thus far that are leading the ball game 12 runs to 0. Well, rugby match, let's get that right. And cool, going the other way. White team trying something different. Just gets over the line, snap it up over there on the wing.
And again, this Raiders team just holding on to the pill. Actually, have the Colts touched the ball yet? I can't recall. The Raiders just seem to be controlling all the possession here.
Well, it's only been the kickoffs thus far for the Colts, hasn't it? And they will be wanting to change it around. And there we see their forward pack just march over the ruck, trying to get it, and they do indeed. Well done to the Colts there as they try to change this around. Rugby sometimes a simple game, isn't it? Whoever wins up front tends to win the game.
Yeah, good call by Mark Donaldson there. The Raiders just infringing on the ruck. Nick Butler and Johnny Mackay from some of the coaches from the Colts, they'll really be looking to egg these boys on and make sure they do start to get over the advantage line. As you can see here, the Colts are starting to push into the Raiders 22.
Well, nice run there by the number 8 from the Colts team, and that's Flynn Hamilton-Mueller. Boy, oh boy, plenty of charge from him. And it is the Colts now with possession deep into the 22 for the Raiders, and they're fighting for the ball, scrapping for it. Raiders look like they may have snabbled it. They have indeed. So a defensive ruck awarded to the Raiders. They get the ball. They look for the clearing punt. One bounce, and it'll go into touch. 12 metres out, or 2 metres in from halfway of the Colts side. 12-0 here as we're 9 minutes into the match, and a good matchup. Club under 13, Colts versus the Raiders here, live from Uwera, of course, the home of the College Rifles Rugby Club. Line out throw for the Colts, and they'll dish it back to the halfback, and he'll do a duck and dive and slams into the Raiders forward pack. Colts recycle the ball. A little messy, but it is recycled. Number 8 grabs it again. That's Hamilton Mueller. He's driving forward. The Colts have put their heads down, driving the legs. It is a fair contest up front in this one. Ball to the backs is still alive. Big man here, centre. Oh, and he's running. He's gone through a couple. 18. Must be late replacement. That's Latu Talamai. Boy, oh boy, he was like a cement truck running through there. Just looks like a little bit offside there. Good bit of sportsmanship from 15.
Now, this is good defence by the Raiders. They're under a little bit of pressure at the moment. The last couple of minutes since that kick-off, the Colts have been hard on attack. And you can just see the Raiders, they're talking to each other. They're sorting out their defensive line. And it'll be interesting to see how the Colts approach this.
Well, it's a game of course, momentum, isn't it, rugby? And we all know that the Raiders, in the beginning of this one, have had the lion's share of the momentum. But the Colts, as you just mentioned, they've just turned the table a little bit and trying to apply the pressure. If they can turn that pressure into points, then they'll be happy, I'm sure. Tap start here, and it's the lock forward who runs that up, and that's, of course, Luca Tona. He runs hard. Ball's recycled for the Colts, so good ball there by the forwards. Raiders trying to stop them. 4-man there will do it. It's Tona again who up and goes from the back of the ruck. Running down the blind side now.
Only 15 metres out here. The Colts looking to strike back early.
First 5, Kingsford dishes it out. Colts with good position and good territory at this point. Going blindside again. There is a gap. 14 going for these steps back in. There are 3 men there now on top of him, though. Good defense covering Cooper Peters, the winger from the Colts. Almost had a chance there, Logan. Raiders have got it back. They've stolen it in the ruck.
They have. They've stolen. They've declared the ball out from their own line.
This one won't go out,
Back
though.
to
So
40.
the fullback for the Colts has got the ball charging back into them. Running without any fear is Adam Redshaw. They'll need to try and recycle the ruck, though. The ball is taken by the Raiders. That's 2 defensive rucks for them in the last minute.
Again, the Colts turning over the ball in the Raiders' half, and it's Eli McConnell again. He's taking the game by the scruff of the neck here, and the Raiders are hard on attack, only 25 metres out.
Good ball inside. Good following up from the Raiders. Now it's 12 as he tries to go back around. No, he'll settle back in for the forwards. Raiders with the ball now. 15 inside the half of the Colts, and they'll shovel it back out the back. Knock on. Colts will be happy to that. Relieves the pressure. Play on, though.
Good advantage there by Mark Donaldson, the referee, allowing the Colts to carry on in the advantage.
Good free-flowing rugby here at College Rifles this evening. Just about halfway now for Colts. They'll need to build that pressure again. It's all about possession.
They have been absolutely stunned here, Jace, the Colts. They've come out of the gates and they're 12-0 down in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, excellent start for the Raiders for sure. We're going to see if this Colts team can find the fight back. They're looking at more position now. That helps. Here comes the cement truck. He goes again. Bobs without the backhand, a bit like Sonny Bill Williams. Boy, oh boy. Latu Talamai. Remember that name. That kid's got some skills.
Mate, I've seen Latu play the whole year, and he is an up-and-coming superstar.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a fabulous young boy as well. Very respectful, very humble, and he's got a lot of big future, that young boy.
Well, that makes the world of difference, doesn't it? You know, just because you're skillful doesn't make you a good teammate. You need to be a good teammate. If you look at any of the All Blacks these days, they're all great teammates. They're also very skillful, might I add, but they are good people to start with.
Yeah, he's done his hair tonight as well.
Well, that always helps, doesn't it? Especially in the under 13 grade. Well, Colts get that one back and they run it up through the blind side now. Only 25 metres out from the try line. Trying to pick up the first points of the contest, the Colts here. Recycle ball. Better recycling now from the Colts team. Mate, the Club Clash. Tell me, how did that start?
Just a bit of a, not too sure really. We just decided to have a bit of a, the Auckland Rugby decided to fit these teams against each other three times this year, and we thought, well, we might as well make a bit of a series out of it.
Gotcha.
And you know, what better game to come and watch than a game when it's, you know, two teams from your own club battling it out.
Well, it is indeed. So it's part of the greater Auckland competition, but because you're playing each other in this grade, you decide to make something of it. What a great spectacle it is. Just going into touch there.
Gavin Deavy, the touch judge, calling that one. The ball did bounce just on the line.
Well, it's good to have good
So
touch
Gavin
judges.
Deavy is one of our associate referees here at College Rifles. Been refereeing for at least 3 or 4 years now. And you can just see the way that he walks, that he's a referee. He's adjudicates to the law. Very qualified. And also Mark Donaldson's one of the College Rifles associate referees as well. So it's a full in-club series tonight.
Oh, well, fantastic. It's great to have those gentlemen and their services available to this great club. Well, it's the Colts. They have position again here from that line out, and they're charging up the middle, 21 onto the field. That is Ryan McLean. The subs are rolling in this match. There is no need to make time to make those changes as they can roll on and roll off here. So that's great to see. It's more about the young men playing than it is about the rules. Colts now in their best chance. It will come back here, and looks like we might have had a little offside. Referee Donaldson marks the spot, 28 metres out, almost just to the left of the rugby of the goal post. So driving up now is the Colts, and they're getting closer. 10 metres out now from the Raiders try line. The halfback ducks himself. Ball spews out. They recycle it back. Still alive for the Colts. Fantastic to see here. Quick flying rugby. Played it under 13 grade.
It's a very compressed defensive line here for the Raiders. The Colts need to be looking to identify that. There's a lot of space out in the wings at the moment. But just as I say, that's a knock on by the Colts.
Well, it's about trying to
letting
take
the Raiders off the hook a bit there.
Good point, Logan. Just about trying to get take what's given to you in front of you, and if you can see there's some room out wide, as long as you've set your team well in the backs, take advantage of it. You want to take that every time you can. Well, with 30 minutes to go here in this first half, of course, a great start for the Raiders team. Logan, how does the Colts get back into this match?
I think they've just got to compose themselves.
Boy, oh boy, what a step.
They've got to tackle Eli McConnell, that's for sure.
He is off to the races, McConnell. Ball in one hand. He stepped about 4 or 5 guys. There's 6, that's 7. And someone grabs his shirt from behind. That was the only way he was going down. And just simply 45-metre run there from the number 12 from the Raiders team, Eli McConnell.
And the Raiders forwards have got to the ruck on time as well, and they're continuing to move the ball forward. We're only 15 metres out here now.
Well, the Colts,
less than that.
The Colts, the white team, they want to try to absorb this pressure. They've been down applying the pressure at the other end of the field, and now the Raiders have turned it right around. And if the Raiders score right now, gee, that'll be disheartening. So these Colts, the white team, they need to muscle up here, and they're doing this in this ruck. They're trying to get the ball back, and they do indeed. Congratulations to the Colts, showing good mettle there. 22 over the top, recycles that one back. Of course, that's Joshua Alessi. Working hard, the Colts.
Here he is.
Come blindside. Number 20 on the wing now. There's Tani Kalia, takes that one to ground.
Advantage played.
Ryan McLean charges up the middle. Plenty of ball here. Here comes a cement truck. Oh, he's running sideways. Will he go forward? Yeah, here he goes. Steps in 1, shoulders into 2. And he's still going. There's that back flick. Gets it down the back here. Latu Talamai, the cement truck, still making plenty of metres out there for the Colts team. Penalty to the Colts. More pressure to be applied now. 11 minutes to go in the half. Can they pick up some points before we go to the break? Tap and go. Love that style. It's 22 now. He's running straight up the middle. Joshua U13. Ball goes wide. Good tackle there by the Raiders. Ball's recycled by the Colts now. Working better. Here's the cement truck. Oh, they're on him quickly. That's the best way to stop him. Don't let him get a speeder. Advantage played to the
Raiders forwards are pushing up really well here on this Colts attack. Pressurising the Colts, and they've turned the ball over here.
just looking.
The Raiders just really looking to capitalise on this early lead they've got.
Good backline structure for the Raiders here. They've got width out wide. They pass it out. It goes out one. There's two men following him as he'll go to the ground, recycle the ball. Popped up to 13 for the Raiders. He's charging up there. That's Tom Warren, the try scorer. Raiders with the ball now in the 22 of the Colts. Check inside going around. Leo Aldry. Running hard now. The fullback for the Raiders likes the ball, that's for sure. Recycles all. That's stolen by the Colts. Can they hold on to it? Yes, they can. They get it back on the 22. Looking to counter now. Good defense by the Raiders, and he gets out of it though, shakes that one. Recycle lays it back to his 13. Then out wide. It's the fullback for the Colts is coming to the line now.
The Colts like this left-hand edge. They've been down here 3 or 4 times over the last 5 minutes, but they just don't seem to be getting past number 14 from the Raiders, which is Hugh Devereux.
He's just like a wall out there at the moment defensively, Devereux. This one goes down and it'll go forward.
Atu Talamai just putting the hand out. Wasn't a great pass to him and knocks the ball forward. So it's Raiders scrum here. We're around about 38 metres out. Probably a good position for a good set move here for the Raiders.
Well, you see the rolling subs happening now, especially for the Colts at the moment. Quite a few changes coming in here. So some fresh legs for these last 9 minutes of the first half here. See if they can hold on, keep on pushing forward.
Raiders come the blind side with Eli McConnell again taking the ball up. He would have run at least 200 metres so far this game, but they've turned it over. And the Colts on the counter-attack here. And again, it's...
Oh, that's the cement truck.
The cement truck.
He's going well out the wide.
Latu Talamai takes it up just inside the Colts half.
Game plan for the Colts. Give it to Talamai as he gets him close to the halfway mark.
But
now.
again, the Raiders forwards blow over. But Mark Donaldson, the referee, says that they did not come through the gate. They came in from the side.
Yep.
Great refereeing from Mark Donaldson there.
Well, keeping it fair. And they'll tap and go the Colts again. It's twice they've done that. Playing aggressive here, trying to get on the scoreboard, of course, trailing 12 points to 0 at this point. Running forward is the open side flanker. That is, of course, there was Sam McKay for the Colts team. Raiders have got the ball back now. Trying to come out of their half. Good defense there from the Colts. And he's ripped the ball off him too. Who's that? 22. That's Ryan Joshua Uelesi.
Joshua Uelesi.
Uelesi.
Yep.
Oh boy, he's a
fantastic
mean
young
machine.
player.
Here they come out wide again to the left side. Devereux's there. He's a wall, but they get the ball passed him. Can that be the secret to get down their side?
Here he goes, the cement truck. Taking it forward, pick and go, up to the 22 here.
Oh, who's
the Colts.
around him, though? It is Devereux again. Boy, oh boy.
High tackle.
Oh, they'll come back. Will they take the points? 7 minutes to go here in the first half with 2 tap and goes. I don't think so.
It'd be right on the limit, I'd say, for a penalty, but they'd take the tap and go instead.
They do indeed.
There's a lot of gap out wide here. 3 on 2.
Grabs it. Can they go wide? No, he cuts back in. Going for the try line. It's the high speculator. Lands into a Colts hand, though. 12 now on the edge. He's going close. Just down. He's up and going again to the line. Can he get over? Raiders. 5 men on him. Hold him up here. There goes the ruck. They're right down on the try line. Colts pressing. Forwards trying to recycle. Whoever wins the ruck here gets the points, and it's a knock on. Colts can't hold on to it. Raiders with the defense to hold them out.
Six minutes to go in the first half, Jace. And so far we've seen some amazing defense from the Raiders. I don't want to put the knockers on them, but it's been a great start. The great first half from the Raiders defensively and attacking-wise. We'll just wait and see what the Colts can do here.
Well, it hasn't been indeed. I mean, it's been great footy in this first half thus far. And a good clearing kick from the Raiders will get them out to the 22 here. Colts have got plenty of time, though. 2 30-minute halves we will have in tonight's contest. Still in the first half here with 5.5 to go.
I was speaking to Dan Carter last night. He was just down here at the club, and he was amazed at the amount of children we had playing rugby. And I said, mate, come down to the Club Clash tomorrow night. And I'm just looking down here right now, and Dan Carter's just down there on the fence line with a couple of his mates.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's great to see former All Blacks down here supporting an event like the Club Clash.
It sure is indeed. And, you know, why wouldn't you? It's a great place to come. College Rifles Rugby Club here. And then we were at Auckland, and even Dan Carter knows it. That's why he's here this evening to watch this great spectacle. These under 13 teams, the Colts versus the Raiders in the Club Clash.
Okay, the scrum's about to go down. Raiders ball, good scrum.
Good solid scrum.
See what they're going to do here. Are they going to clear it or?
Oh, they're risking their arm here. They haven't had
3-on-1
much possession, and so they're going to run it 2-on-1, and that works well. So the man in the clear coming over to covers the fullback, and he puts his shoulder on 14. But running nice and free is that Devereaux. Remember, good defensive play from him from the Raiders, and ran the ball well there. Now 5 metres into the half of the Colts. Ball comes out the back.
It's going to be a test of fitness here, Jace. The Raiders forwards are doing a really good job at getting to the rucks, clearing out the Colts forwards who are trying to counter ruck. And it's going to be a test of fitness in the second half to see who can keep it up the longest. 2 30-minute halves. And, you know, so far, 3 minutes to go in the first half, 12-0 to the Raiders.
Well, you're right, but I do like the structure of the Raiders' backline. You see them now getting a bit of width here on the far side. And it's 13 cuts in one, and he cuts in two, and he'll reach out and dot down again for his second try of the contest. That is Tom Warren, as he will score on the left side here on a great backline running, flowing play there from the Raiders.
Oh, Jace, that was a great try. You see Tom, he cut back in on his left foot, outdid the defence. 2-on-1, he had to get past two Colts defenders, and young Tom Warren has just blown this game wide open. It's 17-0 to the Raiders. Kick to come.
Well, you know what? I bet you if you asked Tom Warren what he thought about game one, I bet you had a few stern words to say, because boy, oh boy, has he been a man on a mission here tonight for the Raiders team with 2 tries in the first.
A little bit of information about Tom Warren. His favourite food, spaghetti on toast.
Spaghetti on toast.
Yeah.
That's a Kiwi staple diet right there.
He's a true Kiwi. You know, he loves a spaghetti on toast. Do you like spaghetti on toast, Jace?
I love spaghetti on toast. To be fair, I like all food, but spaghetti on toast is a goodie.
A little bit of cheese?
Nothing like it. You've got to have a bit of cheese on it.
A little bit of grated cheese,
mouse
eh?
trap, I suppose.
Oh. Speaking of cheese, got this amazing garlic cheese pizza, which I've been gnawing on here in the commentary box. Just a little bit. Very tasty Domino's pizza. So, mate, takes us to 17-0. The kick was missed.
It does.
But 2 minutes to go, and these Raiders boys.
Well, the Domino's conversion attempt just goes wide there. 17 points to 0. It is the Raiders that are leading with 2 minutes to go here. Can the Colts pick up a point just before they go into halftime? We all know that if you can score just before half and just after halftime, it can make a big difference in a match.
Momentum, Jace. It's all about momentum going into the second half. At the moment, the Raiders have got all the momentum. The kick doesn't quite go 10 metres, but the Raiders pick it up and charge over that halfway line again. Pressure on the Colts.
They do indeed.
The Colts forwards just need to get in there, start blowing over, winning some ruck.
Well, at the moment, it looks like the Raiders' backline is just a bit better structure, giving depth, and no way. It's Tom again.
Tom Warren.
Flying down the line.
That's a hat trick.
And he will dot it down for 3 of the best ones in the first half here. And it's all the Raiders in the first half of this game 2 of the matchup.
I taught him that, Jace. I mean, I'm a runner myself. And when Tom and a couple other boys said to me, Logan, we need some sprint practice, I said, mate, come down on Tuesday afternoon, pre-season, and I'll get you guys up to speed. So clean pair of heels, obviously. Artificial turf here at College Rifles, no mud around, so it's a clean pair of heels, and that's great speed from young Tom Warren.
Well, there you go. You hit it here first, Logan Strange, the Junior Development Officer for the College Rifles Club. Not only is he brilliant at creating fixtures like this, but he's also a sprint champion coach. So send your boys or your girls down here if you want them to get a clean set of heels and to pick up a try, or maybe 3, just like Tom Woon here this evening. So the final play of the half with about 30 seconds to go, we'll go to Jack Rose here as he'll see if he can slot the conversion attempt.
Oh, he's connected very well. Just hooks it around to the left.
He does indeed. Just to the side, and that one will go out of reach. But
Mark Donaldson's looking at the time. He's probably going to call it here half-time.
He does indeed.
And he does. That's 22-0 to the College Rifles under-13 Raiders over the College Rifles under-13 Colts. Shell-shocked here at Remuera College Rifles Rugby Club. The Raiders are leading at half-time. And, Jace, this has been unbelievable. What a turnaround from game 1.
Well, what an amazing effort so far, and you're right there. It's great to see this type of talent on showcase here at College Rifles, and it has been the Raiders from the get-go in this one. The Colts did formulate a bit of pressure after about 10 or 12 minutes of the match, but they couldn't convert it into points. It's been the Raiders that have thus far. 1 try going to Devi, and of course the hat-trick going to Tom Warren.
Now, do we stay online half-time, Jace? What do we do?
We will indeed. We will stay online. I guess before we duck off and have a little bit of a break and a cup of tea while they just have a half-time for 5 minutes. Just a couple of questions for you, Logan. To get involved with rugby here at College Rifles, how would you go about doing that?
First thing will be to head to the College Rifles website, I guess, www.collegerifles.co.nz. The rugby season obviously is almost over. But we do run touch modules in the summertime, primary school up to intermediate. But the rugby season starts in April. We run pre-season in March and April, and then the first week of May is when the season officially starts. We've got just over 550 registered players this season, and we've got 2 brand new grades this year. We've got the under-9 girls Ripper Rugby, and we've got the under-11 girls Ripper Rugby, and there's actually... It's only 7 aside on the field. We've actually got 18 girls in the under-11 team.
Oh, that's amazing. Fantastic to see the good growth a part of the sport at the moment.
Hashtag girl power.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we all know you come down to rugby on a Saturday morning and get your gumboots out and trudge your way through the mud, but I don't see any mud out there.
You can still wear gumboots though, Jace.
Right.
It's all good. Have you got gumboots?
I don't have gumboots on this evening, but normally I would. But I notice out here you've got the nice fields, artificial, so there's no worries about the games being cancelled due to weather.
That's the one, yeah. The fields actually just got replaced at the start of the year. Brand new fields got replaced after 10 years here at the club. And, these fields are amazing to play on. Like I say, you don't get dirty on them, so there's not too much worry about traipsing a whole bunch of mud into your car. And, we don't cancel any games because, the fields drain fantastically.
Brilliant. As far as the rest of the season, what's the cup?
So we finished the end of August, so we've got about 5 weeks of junior rugby remaining.
Yep.
From there, we've got the Auckland Junior Rugby Festival, which takes place at the Pakuranga Rugby Club in August. In September. And then later on, we've got 3 teams, our under-9s, under-10s and under-11s. Under-10s, under-11s, under-12s, who are heading off to the New Zealand Junior Rugby Festival, which is in Taupo.
Oh, wow. That sounds like fun. So how long do they go away for that?
From memory, they need to be there Thursday morning, so they usually shoot down here early Thursday morning, Wednesday night, through until Sunday. It's a big week of rugby. They play about 6 or 7 games over that week, And yeah, it's just a good opportunity to celebrate junior rugby, participation, having fun, meeting new friends, and representing your club in a positive manner.
Fantastic. Well, we're just about to get underway for the second half. We might find if we can get the lights turned on here because I'm finding it a little hard to see my little score sheet on there. Look at that. That's just like that. And one of your fantastic volunteers puts their hands up to turn the lights on. Isn't it great to have a club like that?
Craig Cunningham, our junior rugby delegate here. Hey, Craig, you want a piece of pizza? Domino's pizza, mate. Take a slice of pizza. Oh, sorry. Craig's on the keto diet.
All right, fair enough. Good on you, Craig, and we wish you the best of that. But the Domino's will go down very nicely for us at the end of this one, that's for sure. Well, we're kicked off second half here. 22 points to nil. The Raiders are leading this matchup, this club clash. Game 2 on the schedule here. Of course, game 1 won by the Colts. They won that one 45 points to 40. But I tell you what, the first half of this one has been the Raiders only. 22 points to nil as we get started here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jace. Game 1, the Colts got out to a very early lead. It was around about 27-10 going into half time. And then coming at the second half, the Raiders came back. And like you mentioned, they just fell short. But I feel like they've continued on that momentum.
Yeah.
You know, they had a good second half in the game 1 of the club clash. They've come into here game 2. They've absolutely dominated this game in the first half, and they've found themselves up 22-0 at half time.
Well, in saying that, Logan, what does the Colts team need to do here to get back into this match?
I think their forwards just need to start dominating the ruck. They need to get in there. Like right now, they need to, rather than standing off, get in there, win the ball, especially when it's in the Raiders' half, and then just start to, form some phases, get some set plays going, and really start to put some pressure on this Raiders team. They need to shut down Eli McConnon. I think he's run so much, he probably might have even legs left after this game.
You might want to get a little eye on that Tom Warren as well. Three tries in the first half for him have been outstanding. But the Colts have responded here, as you see in the beginning of the second half. They have good possession, recycling the ball well. I like the structure of their back line. They've got it there now. 13 has the ball. He's going wide to the corner, cutting back inside, and he's only 5 metres out now as they'll try to recycle the ball here. Colts with the best chance of the second half and driving over, and will try and get his shirt number far side, but it is one of the forwards who scores here. The Colts answer straight back in the second half.
Exactly what we were talking about they need to do. Spinning it wide. They caught the Raiders napping out on their right side, and the Colts have hit back right when they need to, and we can't quite get the number there. It's pretty dark out in the field. It's about 6 o'clock at night.
Well, he is. I'm sure he's going to spin around for us at some stage.
But yeah, great try there by the Colts, taking it to 22-5. So they've done what they need to do, kick to come, and they've still got time on the board.
Well, couldn't have been a better start for the Colts. Picking up a try in the first 2.5 minutes here. And it was number 6 who scored that. I just got his shirt. He just turned around so kindly for us. Of course, that is David Reeves. He picks up the try there. Conversion attempt is just short.
Raiders hold the lead, 22-5. Still 27 minutes to play. So you could see the Raiders underneath the post during that conversion, talking to each other. You could see Eli McConnon taking control of the team. He's about to kick off here, telling the boys, okay, boys, start from scratch again. But it's been a good first half.
Well, fantastic start in the second half here for the Colts. Picking up a try to get themselves started, get back into this match. 22 points to nil at halftime, so that will take them now 22-5 on the back of David Reeves' try. Colts receive the ball from the kickoff here, and they're running hard here. Number 8 goes into a shoulder. Hamilton Mueller goes down like a sack of potatoes. 12 now shovels it out. That back line's got better structure to it this half. I can tell you that must have been one of the instructions from the coach of the Colts team for sure, because they look far better set up in this half.
Yeah, I could see Nick Butler, one of the coaches of the Colts, flaying his arms around at half-time. I don't know what he was doing, but he had 2 hands in one ear, and must have been giving some instructions to this Colts team, because they're really starting to get some momentum here. They're gaining over the advantage line every play, and they've moved into the Raiders' half.
Well, good run there by Tani Carley as he goes down. Ball goes down and it's the Raiders trying to recycle the ball. They can't get it. Comes out the side, quickly snabbled up by number 6. That is the try scorer, David Reeves. Loose forward now for the Colts team. They are stepping it up. You can see them forwards working harder here this half. They know they need to get possession, more of it, and it's working thus far for the Colts.
No advantage there. Mark Donaldson calls it for offside. I did notice that the Raiders boys are starting to creep up a little bit. They're just going to have to make sure they, look at their halfbacks, make sure they are staying on onside. They don't want to give away too many penalties early in this second half.
Well, tap and go. The Colts have done that all night. I love it. 7 charges up the middle. Of course, that is Sam McKay. Takes it down, and it's the Raiders over the top of them trying to get the ball back. Can they steal it? No, Colts recycle. They'll shovel it out to the winger. He's all by himself, and boy, oh boy, no chance of going through the shoulder of 14 there. That is that Devereaux again.
Colts are looking strong here. They're only 5 metres out, looking to strike 2 in a row in quick succession.
Well, it's about momentum, and the Colts have got it at the moment, trying to put the foot down. Width is out left. We can see it from here, but it's another strong run. Only a couple of metres short now are the Colts. Playing advantage to the Colts now. 1 metre out from the try line. Raiders desperate defence. And it's another dive, it's another charge, and it's another try to David Reeves. 2 in the bucket for him to get started here in the second half.
David Reeves. Amazing try. Pick and go. The Colts just doing the basics right. You could see them building that momentum from 40 metres out. Just pick and go all the way. It's obvious. It's a clear instruction from the coaches at half-time, identifying possibly a weakness within the Raiders' defence. That pick and go's really working well. And that's 2 tries in the opening.
It is indeed, and the scoreboard yet to catch up over there. So exciting, this matchup, of course, and we've got it, of course, 10 points to 22. Colts coming out firing in the second half. Gee, they're a completely different team, aren't they?
Is it the same team?
Well, I tell you what, they're playing different. That's
Was
for
David
sure.
Reeves in that first half team?
Well, he is now, and it's Jack Hawkins. You'll line this up, the hooker for the Colts team, trying to edge a little closer. It's got distance.
Just under, I think. Jace, just under the crossbar.
Boy, oh boy, must have almost shaved it. So we'll stay at 10 points to 22. Colts driven back into this matchup. We've got ourselves a beauty here in game 2 of the Club Clash.
Don't go there. 13s. Don't go anywhere. If you're watching this right now, do not leave. This is going to be a beauty. Just over 20 minutes to go. The Raiders are up, but they do look like they're backpedaling a bit.
Indeed. Well, of course, halfway point here.
It's unfortunate. Knock on from the kickoff, unfortunately for the Colts. That's going to give a scrum to the Raiders around about 40 metres out, 38 metres out. So a good attacking opportunity for the Raiders to strike back or possibly just get some possession, really.
Well, it's been a complete role reversal, exactly that. I was just going to say possession because in the first half, the Raiders had all the possession for the first 15 minutes. And in this half, it's been all the Colts in the first 9 minutes of this matchup. So role reversal, Raiders will like the chance to get the ball here. Or just pushing a little ahead of the mark here. And it'll be...
Of course, you can only push half a metre in junior rugby.
Right, of course. Oh, charging down the line is number 8. Big charge, and it offloads it, but he will go out. But a good charge by the number 8 there.
Tried to catch them napping, didn't he, Jace? Go down the left edge there, and the right side of the Colts weren't quite ready. They didn't get back the 10 metres fast enough, and they really caught them out.
Jacob McKinnon, boy, oh boy, he put the foot down there for the Raiders. But they have a good territory now, albeit with the Colts line-out throw. Under 13 grade, chance to lift in this grade, Logan?
Say that again.
Lifting in the line-out in this grade? Under 13?
No lifting.
No lifting,
no lifting in junior
right.
rugby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always liked a little bit of lifting. Did you used to lift in the line out?
I did indeed.
Or do you used to get lifted?
To be fair.
Or were you a winger?
I don't look like a winger anymore, I can tell you that. However, we did lift in the lineup when I was at school in those days. Colts are running it out from their own line here, doing well too. Up to the 10-metre mark, and they've got some width out wide if they can get the ball there. Playing advantage to the Colts at this point as well. Ball gets loose. Got to say,
slight head high there by the Raiders.
Yeah, got to say, match referee Mark Donaldson's been excellent in allowing this game to be free-flowing here, Logan.
Loves fishing, Mark Donaldson. I was speaking to him yesterday. Reckons he's a bit of a fly fisherman. Was telling me all about the lures.
Ah, there you go. Can't beat a bit of fly fishing.
What lure for a depth?
you
and I was like, oh, yep, cool.
Like just how do I get the fish? Oh, one the other way now. And the Raiders will get the ball back here. Of course, 8 metres in their own half.
Eli McConnon kicking the ball out for territory, not quite getting the
Fair
distance,
way.
and the Colts have stolen it. And
Charging down the line with a great tackle. Drives him over the line, though.
I just feel like both teams need to just get back to some basic structure at the moment here. No need to panic. There's still 18 minutes to go. But I feel that both teams are a little bit nervous. And they just need to sort of have a bit of a talk to each other, do the basics right, calm down, with the line out to come.
Well, fundamentals is always a key part of any match of rugby, that's for sure. It's one of those things, though, sometimes, with Kiwis when they play sport, Logan, is sometimes we just don't fit in a box. We definitely have to have fundamentals. We'll all understand that. But it's those, sometimes that switch flicks. And while the opposition's thinking about it, my mind, Kiwis have already decided to go with it. And they've already gone, or they've already left. So just watch out. Don't blink an eye, that's for sure. Especially not tonight in this clash. Game 2 here of the Club Clash under 13s. Raiders taking on the Colts here. Second half. 18 and a half minutes to go in this one. 22 points to 10. Raiders in blue leading the Colts in white.
And the Colts again, pick and go, just making metres. 10 metres out here. Big moment of the game.
Well, they worked so well. Well, they stole the ball then, Raiders. Well done.
And it's a fantastic clearing kick as well.
And
is it going to go out?
Finding the space, no one back there, rolls out perfectly just before the halfway mark. Great clearing kick by the Raiders, alleviates all of that pressure. Mate, you talk about Dan Carter being down here last night and tonight, coming down to watch the footy. What other great All Blacks had come out of college rifles?
It's a good question, Jace.
Yeah, plenty of them, I'm sure.
There's been a lot of netballers.
Yeah.
And a few Black Ferns as well.
Wow.
I think we're due for a new All Black.
Right, yes.
I think we're due,
Well, so maybe it's going to be Tom Warren or David Reeves.
Yeah, there's definitely some potential in these juniors. But like I said, college rifles is due.
Yep.
For a young player to come through the ranks and make the All Black team, or at least get in contention for it.
Sure.
Young Sione Havili.
Well, good ball movement there. Look at that, all the way to the edge here. It's the loose forward out on the left edge. Fantastic by the Raiders team. Of course, that is the try scorer, Imon Devi. So he knows how to score tries, still out wide here. Maybe they've changed his position. I think that's probably more the case. They've moved him to the wing. It's not often you see the loose forward sitting out on the wing all the time. Infringement there on the ruck allows Colts to get the ball back here. 28 metres out as we see a little bit of sprinkling coming down. Nice cool evening this evening. Artificial turf, so it doesn't matter if it does rain. All that'll affect will be the umbrellas from mum and dad, because the boys can keep on playing.
Little bit of dew sort of starting to appear here at college rifles, and you can see the rain starting to come down. That's going to affect the ball handling for these young players out there. So we'll have to wait and see how heavy it gets. But the rain is starting to come down gently.
Well, tap and go here from in their own half. Boy, I love that about junior footy. Back yourself, and it's 12 now. Of course, he knocked it on the first attempt. A good defensive mark there by the number 12 from the Raiders. That is Eli McConnell.
There's a great number of people down here tonight. You can see both sides of the field. There's a big contingent of mums and dads and brothers and sisters who have come down to support these young Raiders and Colts. And it's just fantastic to see parents and brothers and sisters supporting children playing sport.
Well, it's a brilliant location, is the College Rifles Club here, right in the heart of Remuera. And it's very easy to get to and very easy to get out of. And so what a better thing to do on a Monday Tuesday, of course, to pop on down and see the footy. And when you've got a match like this on, why wouldn't you? Bars open. Everyone's enjoying themselves. I can hear it.
Colts make it into the Raiders half, but again, the Raiders forwards just blowing over. Have they won the ball? They have.
Well, good aggression by the Raiders here as they steal the ball back now, drive 10 metres into the Colts half. 12 points the difference at this point, 22-10. Raiders leading, ball shoveled out the back, playing advantage to the Colts at this point. Colts in white, remember, Raiders in blue. Penalty to the Colts. Like how the Raiders run back, no arguing with a ref. Good sportsmanship been all night tonight, Logan. Be happy with that.
It's been great officiating. It's these two teams in particular. They really set the example at College Rifles of attitude, sportsmanship. Both teams always come to a field, whether it's home or away. They love meeting new mates and playing rugby and just sort of enjoying the winter code.
Well, it makes the world of difference, doesn't it? It's about family, it's about footy, it's about fun, and it's about sportsmanship, and you've got them all here packaged in a nice big bundle with College Rifles. Come on down, get yourself involved, whether you want to play, be a parent, coach, or manage. I'll take them all. Volunteers are welcome. The great club of College Rifles.
Hey, now earlier on, Jace, I talked about the fitness in the second half is really going to have to take its toll. Now there's a few players starting to walk, especially in the back line. There's a few players starting to walk. The forwards are getting slower getting to the rucks. And we've got 13 minutes to go. And this last few minutes are going to be a test. Fatigue, fitness, who came to pre-season.
Well, putting in the 1%ers makes the difference, doesn't it? And we see that with the All Blacks so often. Teams can't keep up with them in that latter half of the 80 minutes. And that's the moment right now for these two teams. Can the Colts, have they got the wings to fly past the Raiders? They give it to the cement truck. He's going one way, he feeds it off, then he gets it back to himself. There's only one way to go, young man, that's forward for you. And he gives an intercept pass. The Raiders, boy, oh boy, it is back and forth stuff here, hotly contested.
Frenetic. It's the one word that I'd use to describe this game at the moment. Absolutely frenetic. These boys are giving it all. They know the game is on the line. The Colts are up 1-0 in the series, and the Raiders, they want to take it to a 1-all. 31st of August is game 3.
Boy, oh boy, it's mounting up. It's going to be an amazing feature, the match on the 31st. Of course, it comes down, can the Raiders hold on here?
You can actually see spectators arriving on the other side of the field, just parking at a premium at the moment. So many people down here.
It's fantastic to see too. It's good to see rugby so alive in club rugby, that's for sure. And here at College Rifles, it's the under-13 graders. Excellent skill set that we've seen in front of us. We see the Colts driving forward again. 12 points is the difference between the two of them. They'll need to score twice at least. Have a chance to try and take the mantle of the Club Clash. They lead 1-0 so far, the Colts, but it's the Raiders with a 12-point lead here in the second one. Tap and go, the Colts again. They've done it all night. And it's number 7 this time. Throws his shoulder in as he goes, Sam McKay. Now the backs are formed up, ready to go. Raiders look equal to it. So the forwards are running it up at the moment. Here comes the backs now. First 5 runs it straight into him. That's obviously Oxford Kingsford. Defense holding for the Raiders at this point. 13 now. Gets through 1. Jacob Hawksby holds on to the ball, recycles it well. There is room out wide if they can get it. Can the Colts? It'll be the third unanswered try if they can. Oh, they're one-ups. Haven't seen the space out wide left.
Big space out to the left. Big space.
Well, they're coming back right. Here comes
straight down the tram line.
Forward. You said it, Logan. If the Colts want to get back in this game, their forwards will have to step up. And boy, oh boy, wouldn't you know it, that is Sam McCabe. It is 3 forwards, scored 3 tries in the first half to get him right back in this game.
Tell you what, that's what happens when there's a little bit of dew, little bit of rain coming down. Keep it in the forwards, pick and go, and look what's happening. The Colts are back within 7 points, kick to come. The Raiders talking to each other under the goalposts. What are they saying, Jace?
Well, they're saying, what's happened, boys? We've got to knuckle down here. This Colts team have got their tails up. And number 10, the first 5, Oscar Kingsford, he slots the extra points as well. So it's only 5 points the difference now. The Raiders will have to dig deep. They'll need to find out that formula they had going in the first half, grab some of that little bit of special powder and make it work here, because at the moment the Colts are charging.
22-17, 5 points in it, 9 minutes to play.
Fantastic match here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you along here. I'm Jason Goobies, a.k.a. Chopper, and it's Logan Strange, the Junior Development Officer here at College Rifles Club, and boy, flying down the sideline there for the Raiders, trying to make the first up hit. Boy, the Raiders are showing their presence. They know they need to get up here.
I like that kickoff, going deep.
Yep.
Just trying to go for territory, get the ball down the Colts end, make them work.
Oh, they've got the ball. The Colts, they're streaking down the sideline. What a great tackle, though. Try-saving tackle. Just at halfway mark. Colts trying to recycle the ball now. Raiders are there. It's a little messy. Tidied up now by a match official, though, and men coming around the side of the ruck. Raiders will be penalised.
The Raiders haven't had much ball this second half. It's been all the Colts.
It's a complete role reversal of the first half, that's for sure. Possession going to the Colts in this one in the second. They have the possession now again. Running up to the line, he'll take it to the deck, looking for his forwards to come over the top of him. First 5 goes in there himself, of course, Kingsford. Knows it's important to get the ball back. It works. 12 from the back of the scrum. Runs into the wall of Raiders. This one's a balancing act with 7.5 to go here. Only 5 points in it. Raiders leaving 22-17. And it's another penalty. The penalty count is getting high now against the Raiders. And you mentioned that fitness, maybe the fatigue, just not quite getting them back online, or getting the tackles in the right location, or getting themselves in the right entry point to the ruck. But the Colts getting the possession. They haven't kicked for the line once tonight, Logan.
Tap and go.
Again, here we go. Here come the Colts marching in. Settle up the horses. He's still guard to the boy. And he's pulled down, only 12 out from the try line. Colts charging now. Recycle ball. Dummy half. He tries to sneak over himself. 5 metres out now, the Colts. Raiders pushing hard here, and they've stolen it, have they?
Now, what do you do? Do you kick it out? Do you run it? That's going to be the decision for the Raiders here.
Well,
they've been kicking the ball away. The Colts have had all the ball. The Raiders will want to hold on to the pill for a little bit. 6 minutes to go. Keep it in your hands. Wear the time down.
That's the conundrum, isn't it, Logan?
Or do you go for territory?
Do you go for territory, or do you hold on to the ball? You can't. If they have got the ball, they can score, right? They can't score without the ball. That's the thing. But do you gamble that down by your try line?
Someone needs to step up.
Someone
Who's going to
needs
step up from the Raiders? Take control. If you're going to get out of this situation, you need to step up. Whereas the Colts will be thinking, okay, guys, we've got the pressure on them right here. We're 5 metres out. Let's keep that pressure on them.
Well, Tom Warren scored 3 tries for the Raiders in the first half, remember. He's playing in the centre role. Outstanding footwork from him in the first half. Haven't seen him running with the ball in the second half yet. Can they get the ball out that far on the line? It'll be a Colts throw in here, 18 metres out from the Raiders try line.
Not a lot of territory gained on that kick. They would have been hoping for an extra 10 or so metres to take it out of the 22. But the Colts here attacking 15 out.
Halfback runs it in. Forwards over the top. Recycling the ball now for the Colts. It is good. It's a pick up and go. Down to the deck. Good counter rucking from the Raiders, but the ball spews out on the Colts side. Pressure still mounting on the Raiders here. Recycle ball again. Left side looks good for the out there. Oh, don't worry about it because the forwards are taking over here. They have done this whole second half so far from the Colts. Up and go again. To say the Colts have got their backs up at the forwards would be an understatement. 5 metres out now, not even that. Counter ruck from the Raiders. Can they do it? Can they steal the pill? Pushing back of the Colts, and
penalty.
It's a penalty, and the pressure collides. And it's a tap and go from the Raiders. At number 12, tap and go. Talk about spirited attack on defense. Eli McKinnon with a tap and go for the Raiders.
In for the tap and go. Oh. And the Colts have got the ball out here.
A little knock on, looks like, yes, a little knock on.
Was that the right decision? I mean, I could see what he was going for. There was a big space out to the left, but he just couldn't get the pass away.
And looks like, we are going to have a change there. Raiders just replacing one of their players. Make sure everyone's okay out there. All set to go now. It is the Colts with the ball, though. They are 7 metres out from the try line. And just taking a moment here, allowing the match referee, Mark Donaldson, to have a chat. Yes, I think it's just to the captains to make sure we're on the same page as we're in the last 3 minutes of this match. It's been a beauty match so far. It's the Raiders holding a 5-point lead, 22-17. Remember the Colts, game one. They're looking to steal game 2 in the series. 3-game series, of course, will conclude with a game on the 31st. Back of the scrum, action go from the Colts. Streaking out, reaching out, and he's just short of the line. And he's held up. He is indeed just held up, just over the line, held up. Boy, oh boy.
Mark Donaldson in exactly the right position to call that one.
Right place, right time. Referee Donaldson.
2.5 minutes to go.
Well, an offensive scrum here for the Colts. You get a feeling this is for the match, Logan. This is for the match right here. 5 points the difference. The forwards have been outstanding. Oh, and a great scrum by the Raiders. Pressure there. Halfback's got it. And they'll try and drive ahead again, the Colts. It's 3 men on him. And he's still gritting his teeth. Colts driving forward again. Recycle the ball.
Here goes the
Here
cement
comes
truck.
a cement truck. He ducks in one, but he'll run into traffic that way. Offloads the ball back. The forwards have got it now. 21 now running forward with the ball. Of course, that's McLean. Colts are so close. They can smell it. They can smell the stolen victory. 3 metres out. Raiders have stolen the ball, though, and the clearing kick goes into space. Not out yet. And it rolls back.
It goes out. It's a valuable touch find. It's going to waste time. It's going to take up at least 30 seconds. The Raiders will be looking to get to this line out nice and slow, take their time, wear the clock down. They've got a 5-point lead, 1:15 to go.
Minute 15, 5 points. That's the lead for the Raiders. This one's been a beauty tonight. It's been fantastic. And why not have a grandstand finish, Logan? Why not? Line out throw in from the Colts. Comes back nicely. Halfback's got it now, and he's coming around the back edge. Forwards from the Colts have been good, but they've held him up here on the ball. He does go to ground now. The ball is recycled. One pass goes to the loose forward. Trying to steal the ball off them are the Raiders. They know position. If they can get it, they'll win the match. The ball rolls over the top. Have they got it here? No. And holding on. It's a penalty. A tap and go. The cement truck's got it. Talamai goes down like a sack of potatoes. 4 metres out from the line. 5 points the difference here. And there's gap out left. Oh, he can't get the pass away. Raiders showing good middle here. Logan on the line.
They are, Jace. This is really good defence so far, but they've just got to keep their eyes on the
Recycling
pearl.
it. He steps at 1, steps 2. But good defence again. Raiders outstanding. If they win this match, it's because of the defence. The cement truck now going sideways, looking for an offload. Comes off the back of the hand, 13 with the ball. They have to reset now. Those forwards need to catch up to him. 13, it's a funny offload. Goes out to the fullback. The fullback now only 4 metres out.
That's time up on the clock there, Jace.
The ball is recycled for the Colts. Offload again.
If the Raiders can get the ball.
And they're only 1 metre out now, the Colts. So close with time up on the clock. So close for the Colts. Ball back now to 2. Going forward. Here comes the forwards again. Recycled.
Big space out to the left.
Sixers got the ball.
Big numbers to the left for the Colts here.
Oh, they're all gathered in the middle, and they're going one-ups here, are the Colts. Can they recycle it again one more time?
The Raiders are dedicating all their players to the ruck.
It's at the back of the ruck. Here it comes. 2's got the ball. One pass. Need another pass. Good ball, and man tackle goes down to the ground. Raiders defense simply outstanding. Colts with another chance, and they lose it. But it's a penalty.
It's a penalty to the Colts. The Raiders kicked the ball away, thinking that it was into the game, but Mark Donaldson's calling advantage. I think it was holding on at the ruck. It looked like he was indicating.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, with time up on the clock, 5 points the difference. Raiders and blue on their line.
Tap and go?
Leading by 5. Colts have tapped and go all night. Will they do something different? The back line setting up. Where's the cement truck? Here comes 8. He's driving forward. Good tackle. Recycling the ball. The ball comes out the side, trying to come out, and the Raiders have picked it up out of the side, and they will run over the dead ball line, and the Raiders win it.
The Raiders have taken it.
They have held on here under immense pressure from the Colts. Oh boy, Logan, 22 points to 17. The Raiders have struck back.
Raiders cake game 2. What a game. That was some amazing defense there by the under-13 Raiders from College Rifles. The Colts, they were parked on the Raiders line for much of the second half, but you got to say, Jace, that defense that the Raiders have shown that's amazing. What defense?
Well, simply outstanding. What about the effort from the Colts team? They're down 22 points to 0 at half-time. But then they come out, they strike. 2 tries to Rivers, 1 try to Sam Clark, and, of course, the conversion. Boy, I wish they'd picked up a couple more conversions there. But the pressure they applied through that second half, they've got to be proud of their effort.
Very, very. And you can see the players congratulating each other, shaking hands. And you know, it's 2 College Rifles teams. They're all good mates. I know a lot of them hang out in the weekends together, go to school together, and I'm sure the Raiders have got bragging rights for today's game. But that's 1-1, locked up, 1 apiece in the series. Game 3, the 31st of August, the last game of the junior rugby season. All on.
Don't miss it, ladies and gentlemen. The 31st coming up will be Game 3. We're all locked up, 1 game apiece. Colts take the first one by 5 points, and guess what? Raiders take the second one by 5 points. It's that close, ladies and gentlemen. It will go down to the wire for sure as you see the boys coming over here to salute the crowd on what seemed to be an amazing match out there for us. We saw the first half was all the Raiders. 1 try to Emon Devi and then a hat-trick to Tom Warren, of course. Jack Rose with a conversion added their 22 points. But it was David Rees with 2, Sam McKay with 1, and, of course, Oscar Kingford with the conversion. That gives us the final score on this one. 22 points to 17. The Raiders are victorious in Game 2. Congratulations to them, and outstanding to see the sportsmanship from them. Logan, last thoughts to you.
As we just hear the players give their supporters some thanks. So Thanks for, first of all, Jace, mate, been awesome working with you tonight up in the com box. Mate, you've earned your Domino's pizzas tonight, mate. It's been good calling the game with you. You're an expert in the field, and we've really enjoyed it. To everyone who watched the game online, hope you guys have enjoyed it. To our camera crew, to our scorers, thanks to all the volunteers for tonight. To the mums and dads who brought the boys down tonight, really appreciate that on a Tuesday night, hanging down there. Lot of puffer jackets on the fence, a lot of Kathmandu puffer jackets. Kathmandu looking for some sponsorship. Anyone out there? And last but not least, we've got the players. Awesome work tonight, and also our volunteer coaches and managers. Tell you what, that Raiders defence coach. Is it Jordan Salisa, Mike Davis, one of the two?
I'll tell you what, the Raiders defensive coach has earned his Domino's pizza tonight, that's for sure. Logan, thank you so much for having us along this evening. It's been outstanding to be here, part of the College Rifles Rugby Club, on a great matchup, and completely my privilege to be here for this one. What an amazing game. Fantastic to see the way the Raiders came out, domination in the first half, and the way that the Colts fought back in the second half. But that defence at the end there, that game could have gone either way. That's footy. That's got to be College Rifles. It's been great to be here. I'm Jason Goobies, a.k.a. Chopper. We'll see you all for the next one. 31st, Game 3, the rubber match.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.